Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's get started with today's class. 1 second. First, we will do our prayers and then we will get started with our class. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's start our prayers, kids. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschayata Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, are you all able to see me? Having some problem with the setup. Okay, can you see me, kids? Okay, I'll do one thing. Okay, take this video. Let me do the normal.
Yeah, when
video.
you were speaking, your voice was breaking, and it was just a black screen suddenly. Now it's
Okay.
good.
Okay, let's just use this. Actually, I'm not using of chapter 1. Okay, what happened in chapter 1 specifically? We will talk about why Arjuna did not want to fight. Is that okay, kids? I know that last week we did verse verse from chapter 3, but what I was told is that you're still not clear on the chapter, especially number 2. So we thought we will go over chapter 2 and then revise concepts from chapter 1. So what are some of the reasons why Arjuna did not fight? Arjuna did not fight because of compassion for friends and relatives. He's thinking about his friends and relatives, and he's very, very compassionate towards them. And he says, because of that reason, I will not fight. Then he says, there is no enjoyment even after victory because all my friends and relatives will be dead. What's the point of me fighting? That was the second argument that Arjuna brings about as the reason why he doesn't want to fight. Then the third one he says is fear of sinful reactions. And the fourth reason that he gives is destruction of family traditions. So, do you all remember what happened in chapter 1? Are you able to recollect and remember these 4 reasons that I talked about? First is showing compassion to his friends and relatives. Then he says there is no enjoyment. Even if I win, there is no enjoyment to share. I mean, there is no enjoyment because I can't share this with anybody. All my relatives and friends will be dead. Then there is fear of sinful reaction, right? And then the fourth point he says is if I'm going to kill all the Kshatriyas, then the family tradition will go away. You know, there will be the Kshatriya woman will not be able to marry a Kshatriya man because all the Kshatriya men will be dead. As a result, the family tradition will be lost. And that is why I don't want to fight Krishna. These are the 4 reasons that Arjuna says to Krishna why he doesn't want to fight against Kauravas. Is somebody able to recollect and tell me these 4 points once again? You can unmute yourself and just say these 4 points that I told you now.
He had compassion.
Correct. Wonderful.
He said, I don't want to destroy his friends and his relatives.
Why?
There's no one to enjoy with. Yeah, they have to join with the war. Yeah.
Correct.
He didn't want to kill his relatives.
Why doesn't he want to kill the relatives? That is the question.
Because the wives they won't be able to marry the Kshatriya men.
Correct. See, today we are going to have a Kahoot quiz at the end of the class. So whoever is going to listen, pay attention through years, they are going to get good score in Kahoot. Is that all right? So I really want you to focus. This is a very important question, and I'm pretty much sure that this is going to come in Kahoot. Okay. So you better know the answer. Why? What were the reasons why Arjuna doesn't want to fight? First reason, again listen carefully, is that he's compassionate towards his friends and relatives, and because of his compassion, he says, I don't want to fight. The second reason he gives is no enjoyment. Because even if I'm victorious, I'll not be able to share this with anybody because my friends and relatives will be dead. Third is he's fearful of sinful reaction. And then fourth is destruction of family traditions. Okay? Are you all with me, kids? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go to our today's verse and we will get started. Maybe I'll share the Veda base with you. We will repeat the verse a few times and then, okay, I'll do the Veda base. 1 second. So we are going to go to chapter 2. And between in chapter 1, another thing that is very important from chapter 1 is are you all familiar with the conch shells that were blown by various personalities?
Yes, but I don't know all of the concepts.
Okay, do you know what conch shell that Krishna blew?
Mataji, I know.
Yeah, you can say.
Panchajanya?
Yes, Panchajanya. And how about Arjuna?
I don't know.
It is Devadatta. Okay. And Bhima was Poundra, Yudhishthira was Ananta Vijaya, Nakula was Sugosha, and Sagadeva was Mani Pushpaka. Okay. And Krishna was called Rishikesh. Do you know why he was called Rishikesh? In chapter 1, did you learn why Krishna was called Rishikesh? Anybody? Rishikesh means the one who is the owner of senses. He directs the senses of all living entities in terms of their surrender.
One is the owner of what?
Owner of all senses. Rishikesha. See, we know that Bhima was called Vrikodara because he would eat voraciously all the food. He will eat really nicely. He could perform Herculean tasks of even killing demon Hidimba. So that is why he was called Vrikodara. And Krishna was called Rishikesha because he is the controller of all senses. He is able to control everybody's senses too from that perspective. So when Arjuna asked him, see, I wanted this chariot to be between two armies, he was able to understand what Arjuna had in his mind, because he wanted to see and view who are all the personalities whom he was going to fight with. And that is why he asked Krishna to bring the chariot in the middle of the two armies. And since he was able to understand Arjuna, what was going in Arjuna's mind, he's Rishikesha. Because he's able to control everybody's senses, he understands what they were thinking also, what was going on in Arjuna's mind, something that Krishna could think about. And he could also understand, oh, he's going to analyze who's standing between the two armies, who is going to fight with, and who are all the parties whom he is going to. Then, after seeing that, how Arjuna would react, he will say, no, no, I'm not going to fight with anybody because all these people are my friends and relatives. He knew that this was going to happen. Krishna, that is why he is Rishikesha. Are you all able to understand why he is called Rishikesha? Yeah? You want me to say this again? Okay.
Mataji, can you say like the second part again?
The second part.
Yeah, like the only thing I heard is that because he's a controller of the senses.
Correct. He is the control of the senses. Why he is controller? Because see, when Arjuna asked him, I would like the chariot be placed between the middle of the armies, and that way Arjuna was going to view what was going to happen. and in the sense, Arjuna wanted to see who the personalities were, who were on the Kaurava side, whom he was going to fight with. And now from Krishna's side, Krishna understood that Arjuna is going to say no to the war. He will say, I'm not going to fight with these people because they are my friends and relatives. That way, he's able to understand the senses of Arjuna. And that is why he is Rishikesha, because he is the controller of the senses. Did you understand?
Yes.
Who can say
Yes,
this?
Mataji, I understood.
Varun,
Yes.
why don't you say this? What did I say now? Why he is the Rishikesha? Varun, can you turn on the video? And tell me why he was called Rishikesha? Okay, if not, Kiona is going to say now. Varun, are you there?
He was called Rishikesha because he can sense everyone's. He knows everyone's senses.
Correct. Very good. In this case,
Mataji, now can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. You can turn on your video and say that, Varun.
Okay. So he's called Rishikesha because he controls all of his senses and he knows all of your senses.
What happened in Arjuna's case? What was he able to sense?
Like, I think Arjuna, he asked Krishna to move the chariot into the middle of the battlefield. And then I don't remember after that.
And then what happened? Krishna did move the chariot in between the two armies. Okay. And now Arjuna, he was viewing who the Kauravas were and whom he was going to fight with. But Krishna, he could think ahead and say, oh, Arjuna is definitely going to say, no, I'm not going to fight with this battle because I'm seeing my friends and relatives. I'm not going to fight in this battle. Like that, Krishna was able to sense what was going to happen to Arjuna. Okay. Do you understand now?
Yeah, because he moved the thing into the chariot. And then Arjuna became started telling reasons. But then Krishna could he knew what Arjuna was going through because he knew everyone's senses.
Correct. That is the reason why he's called Rishikesha. Okay, now we will do our 2.7 sloka for today. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen. Aditya?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Aditya, can you turn on your video? And everybody, after Aditya says, can you all repeat?
Okay. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha. Prichami tvam dharma samudachetaha. Yachrayasya nishchitam bruhi tanme. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam.
Yes. Can you just break it up so that they can see?
Okay. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam.
Aditya, can you repeat it another 3 times each line?
Okay. Karpanya dosho. Pahata swabhavaha. Prichami tvam dharma samudachetaha. Yachrayasya nishchitam bruhi tanme. शिष्यस्तेऽहं
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
साधिमां त्वां
तातिमां तां
प्रपन्नम्
प्रपन्नम्
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावा
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
Aditya, second line. You can repeat the whole
पृच्छामि
line.
त्वां धर्म समुदचेताः
Prachami tvam dharma samudacheta.
यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
Yashreshanishchitam prohitanme.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
तातिमां तां
Sadhimam. Another time, last time.
Okay. This time I'll say the lines just without splitting it.
Yes.
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसमुदचेताः
पृच्छामि त्वं धर्मसमुदचेताः
यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
Yashreshanishchitam prohitanme.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Who wants to say? And others can repeat.
Mataji, can I see it?
Okay, Varun, you can raise your hands, then I can call you out. Okay, Varun, we say one line at a time. We will repeat it.
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि तां धर्मसमुदचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Who wants to say? Okay, Ovi. Sorry, Keshav. Keshav, after that Ovi.
Okay. कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः त्वां धर्मसमुदचेता
Prashyami tvam dharma samudacheta.
ब्रूहि तन्मे
Yashreshanishchitam brohitanme.
साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Shishyasteham sadhimam. Ovi?
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः
पृच्छामि त्वं धर्मसमुदचेतः
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसमुदचेतः
यच्छ्रेयस्यान् निशितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यश्रेयशान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे.
शिष्यस्य तेऽहं साधिमां तं प्रपन्नम्
All of you all, please unmute and say. I want everybody to say this. Hare Krishna. Shishyasteham. Can you all say Hare Krishna? Good job. Okay, who else wants to say? Can you all say it? Memorize now.
Mataji,
I can say it memorized.
Me.
Can Varun? I know it's memorized.
Okay, Varun, say memorized.
Okay. Karpanyadosho pahata swabhava pritchami tam dharma samuddhacheta yatreyasya nistritam bruhi tanme shishyaseham sadimam tam prapannam.
Aditya?
कार्पण्यदोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
Why did you rush in the end? Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapanna.
I did. I felt it was normal.
Okay, thank you. Gobinda.
Karpanyadosha prasasta bhava pritchami tam dharmas samudatecha yachayas
Yashreyashanischitam brutanme.
Shishtatitam mamitam sampapannam.
Very nice, very nice. Keshav, why don't you say this memorized?
Dosopahata svabhava pritchami tam dharma samudacheta yachayasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will get started with our today's class then. Aditya, can you read the word by word translation?
Okay. Karpanya of misery, miserliness.
Miserliness.
Dosha, by the weakness. Upahata, being afflicted. And just for like context, dosha and upahata form together dosha upahata. Anyway, swabhava is characteristics. Prachami is I am asking. Twam is unto you. Dharma is religion. Samudha is bewildered. Chetaha in heart. Yet what? Shreyaha all good. Syat maybe. Nishritam confidently. Bruhi tell. Tat that. Me unto me. May unto me. Shishyaha disciple. Te your. Aham I am. Sadi just instruct. Mam me. Tvam unto you. Prapannam.
Got you. So in this, if you look at it, Karpanya is miserliness. We are going to talk about what Karpanya means. And dosha means by the weakness. And we are going to talk about that also. We are going to talk about everything. But swabhaga, see, these words are very important. Swabhavaha is characteristics. Prashami, I am asking. Dharma, we all know is religion. And so this is something new, right? Samudha is bewildered. And then Shishyaha, we all know, I think, hopefully, disciple. And then, Twam, onto. And Prapannam is surrendered. So these are some of the important words. And these words like Nishchitam, we don't know, but we have to memorize. So that when we go through these words, it will be very easy. Now, if you read the translation, it will make perfect sense. Who wants to read the translation? Yes? Yes.
Now I am confident about my dirt. 13.
What is that? Oh, you were saying the translation?
He's reading, Mataji. Yeah.
You're doing the translation. Yes.
Now I am
confused
about my
duty
and have lost all composure
because of my surly weakness.
In the condition I am asking you to tell me your contain what.
Tell me for certain what is the best for me.
What is best for me. Now I am your disciple. And a soul
surrendered unto you.
Please instruct me.
Got it. Very good. And now we are going to go through and understand what this actually means according to Srila Prabhupada.
Dharma is a religion.
Yes, Dharma is religion. You got it right, Govinda. I'm going to share my screen now. Let me know if you all can see my screen, okay? 1 second. I prepared a PowerPoint, so I want to share that PowerPoint and then we can go to Srila Prabhupada's purport. Because once you understand what I'm saying, then are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. So 2-point verse. As I told you, there we saw in the translation of the words or on the word side word by word meaning, we saw Karpanya dosha means a miserly man. Okay. And what does a miserly man mean is something that we are going to see now. Now we are going to see that Arjuna, he was conscious and he was a great hero. Arjuna, he was a great fighter and at the same time, the enemies were all there. So his actual duty is now to fight with the enemy. They were offering a fight, right? It is not Duryodhana. When do you all know the story when Krishna happened to go and meet Duryodhana and say, why don't we call off this war? Because these Pandavas, they can take any piece of land that you are going to give. Even a small piece of land, they can survive with that. Why don't we cancel the war? Like that, Krishna, he happened to go and talk to Duryodhana to actually settle and not have a war. And what happened then? Did Duryodhana agree to that proposal? Can you unmute and be interactive, kids? That way we will have a good session.
He didn't agree.
He did not agree.
Said no.
Yes, that is why we are having this war and we are able to listen to what Krishna has to say through Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So now Krishna is saying actual duty was to fight with the enemy. They were offering the fight. For a Kshatriya, there are some obligations. What are the obligations? If somebody challenges, I want to fight with you, a Kshatriya, he cannot deny. He cannot say, I cannot fight with you. If somebody challenges and say, yes, I want to bet with you in gambling, a Kshatriya, he cannot deny. And for that reason, Pandavas lost the kingdom. Yudhishthira, he was succumbed. He was forced to agree to the proposal when Duryodhana came up with a plan for a gambling match. Remember that? Then Duryodhana associated with Sakuni, and he happened to play tricks with the Pandavas because when whatever Shaguni rolls, he will definitely win because he has that boon. And that way he made the Pandavas lose his kingdom. And after that, what happened? On the other side, his cousins offered them all right, let's come to betting. They said, so betting, the bid was offered the kingdom. So as a bet, they offered the kingdom. And now if you're defeated, you lose your kingdom, they said. So they lost the bet and they gave the kingdom to the Kauravas. And then what happened? If you're defeated now, you're going to lose your wife, they said. So they lost their wife, Draupadi. And similarly, they were now put. Now this time, if you're defeated, you have to go to the forest for 12 years. That was the proposal of the bet. And what happened? Did they go to the forest for 12 years?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. They did go to the forest for 12 years. What were the 3 instances that happened that we talked about as a result of the gambling match? One is that they lost what?
They lost everything.
No. I said 3 things now. They lost everything. Of course, that is right. But what were the
Lost
3
their
things they
wife.
lost? First,
They lost their wife and they had to live in the forest for 12.
wonderful, Kiona, wonderful. That was the answer I was expecting. First was that they lost the kingdom. The second was that they lost their wife Draupadi in the bed. And third was that what happened? They happened to go to the forest for 12 years because of this betting proposal. Okay? And now we will see. So there was a great plan behind them, and the Pandavas were defeated in so many ways, and they were harassed, they were embarrassed for not less than 20 years. Okay, they went through so much suffering before because of these Kauravas for 20 years. And now they were to fight face to face. And now Arjuna says, I am not prepared to fight. That means he has become miserly. And miserly means deviating from his duty. Okay. And now he is conscious that practically I am deviating from my duty. Of course, Arjuna is also able to see that. Oh my God, I am trying to deviate from my duty and I am saying no to this battle. It's coming from me. This is a miserly behavior. Dosha means it's a fault on my part. Dosha, you have some dosha, they say, right? The fault is there in your part. That is what it means. And I should not have deviated from this fighting. But my sentiment does not allow me to fight with my kinsmen. Remember the reason why Arjuna did not want to fight? What was the first reason that I told you?
Compassion.
To kill his relatives and
Compassion. Compassion is the first reason.
Compassion.
Compassion. He was compassionate towards his relatives and he said, I don't want to fight the war because they are my close relatives and friends. See, even though they were enemies, the Pandavas did not consider them enemies. They considered them as their relatives. If you look at Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, one is Bhishma Pitamaha. They're all very, spiritual. I mean, the Dronacharya was the one who taught Arjuna how to be a Kshatriya, right? He taught him all the techniques, how to fight, but he has to fight against him, his guru now. So he's feeling so bad. Oh my God, I'm forced to do this. And even Kauravas, they don't think them as their enemies. The Pandavas never thought Kauravas as their enemies. Okay, and that is why they have this, because of this compassionate nature, they're able to see everybody equally. And so now there are two things we learned out of this particular slide. What are the two things? One is Karpanya dosho. What is Karpanya? Means I am deviating from my duty. That is Karpanya, miserliness. Once you are given a duty and if you are deviating from that, then you are called Karpanya. And second thing is dosha. That is fault on my part. Arjuna accepts that I am deviating because of the fault on my part. I should not have deviated from this fighting, but my sentiment does not allow me to fight with my kinsmen. Because of his compassionate nature, he is not able to fight with his kinsmen. Are you all able to follow with me so far? Yes? Yes? Okay, good. See, not only I am miserly, but I am deviating from my dharma. We read it, right? Dharma means, he's deviating from his duty of performing dharma. The dharma of the Kshatriya is to fight, and he is deviating from that also. Dharma means according to different position, like a Brahmana, the intellectual society. They are supposed to give advice to Kshatriyas. That is their duty. And Kshatriyas, they are the administrating people. Okay. And Vaishyas, they are the mercantile people. They take care of cows and everything. And Shudras are the labor class. They support all other three classes of people. So these are the four divisions. Okay. Four divisions of Varna that we all know. What are the four divisions of Varna? Who wants to say that? There is four divisions of Varna and four divisions of Ashrama.
Can Varun?
Yes, Varun.
There's Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Brahmana.
Okay, you're saying it in the reverse order.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Varun. Are you all with me? This is the four orders of the Varna. Okay?
Say the four Varna again.
Yes, Brahmanas, they are the people who give consultations to the Kshatriyas as to how to administer. Because of their practical tips that comes from Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, they are able to rule properly. They talk about, they say Krishna consciousness is very important. This is how you need to rule. And when this kind of situation comes, this is how you need to act. You have to become a Rajarishi king. Rajarishi means, what is Rajarishi? What does the Rajarishi king means? it means that, there is this king, the Kshatriya king, but when they are asked to leave to the forest, they immediately leave all their opulence, their material possessions, and they go to the forest and meditate on the Lord, because they are detached. They, even though they are ruling, they are able to detach themselves from all the possessions that they have got, all the opulence that they have got, and hence they are Rajarishis. Okay, the one who's operating the kingdom but doesn't have any attachment to the kingdom as such. He is doing it to protect people, to take care of the people, to give Krishna consciousness to people, because once you have a good ruler, then everything falls in place. And for the good ruler to be in place, these Brahmanas play a very important role, because they give advice to the Kshatriyas. Are you all with me, kids?
Yes.
And then we have Vaishyas. Vaishyas are the people who take care of the cows, and Sudras are the ones who serve the other three classes of people. That is 4 Varnas. Okay, you should never forget this. It's very, very important. Okay. We are going to have a quiz, as I told you, so be attentive. And now, according to Vedic system, this system is observed by generation. So he was a Kshatriya. Of course, we see that Arjuna was a Kshatriya. And now Arjuna's duty was to fight with the enemy, and he was not executing that according to the Vedic injunctions. Oh, I am deviating from my religion also. It is the duty of the Kshatriya to fight, and I am perplexed now. That is confused. We saw in the translation that he was confused and lost all his composure. Now you should kindly, definitely say, now here is the position. I don't understand what is to be done. So Arjuna is in a position where he is saying to Krishna that I don't know what has to be done, because I am so confused. I lost all my composure. I'm not able to think properly. And as I'm a Kshatriya, but I'm deviating from my duty and my dharma to fight. So I don't know what to do. Like that, he was in a very perplexed condition. Okay, are you all able to understand Arjuna's mood and what he's exhibiting at this point in time? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, let's go on to the next verse. Okay?
Yes.
Sorry, not the next verse, the next slide. I'm sorry. Now, Krishna can say, well, I have already been saying that you should fight, but you're not carrying out the order. So he accepted that. All right, whatever arguments we have done so far, let's forget that. Now, Arjuna says, I accept you as my spiritual master and not my friend. Can you all listen to this very carefully? There is a transition now. Now Krishna, he says, I've already told you so many times, you should fight, you should carry out my order. And Arjuna is, Arjuna, he says, I accept all that. Whatever arguments we have done so far, let's forget that. Because they had, see, Arjuna was having a friendly relationship with Krishna, right? He was thinking Krishna to be his friend. So if a friend says something to you, will you listen? I mean, it's up to you to whether to listen or not, because he's your friend, he's your equal, and you're very casual with him, right? You're not very serious with him. Like whatever he says, you should listen to him, like that. Will you be? Because you have this casual relationship of friendship with friends. Are you all with me? So now Krishna and Arjuna, they are in a friendly relationship so far. Arjuna, he said, I'm not going to fight because I am compassionate towards these people. Sins will come to me, family traditions will be lost. And what else? What was the 4th point? He said, even if I win the war, everything, I'll not be able to share anything with any of them because nobody will be there to enjoy my victory with. So these are the reasons Arjuna was saying why he should not fight. But those things were told to Krishna in a friendly manner. He was considering Krishna to be his friend, and he said whatever came to his mind, he expressed all his thought to him as a friend. And then Krishna responded, see, I told you so many times, I gave you so many orders, but I said already that you have to fight. But Krishna and Arjuna, they were in a friendly relationship till this point. And now Arjuna is getting serious. So in order to obey someone, they have to be a higher authority, right? And then you will start to obey. Say, for example, if your friend says something, you may not accept. But when a principal says something, will you accept? The principal says, Ovi, you have to come to school regularly at 9 o'clock every day, but you are coming at 9:30. Yeah, going forward, you have to come to school at 9 o'clock. Ovi, will you listen to that proposal given by the principal?
Yes.
Yes, you will listen to the principal. But the same thing, say Govind, you are asked by your friend to say, I mean, your friend says, Govind, hereafter you have to get me a chocolate every day. Would you go do that?
No.
No, not necessary because he's just your friend. I mean, I may bring it for him or I may not bring it for him. It depends on if I have memory to remember him this thing or not. But when an authority says, you will definitely for sure follow it. And now Krishna is going to set the mood of Arjuna to have him as a spiritual master. And that is why Krishna says, see, whatever arguments we have done so far, let's all forget it. From now on, I accept you as my spiritual master and not my friend. Okay, very, very important. As soon as you accept one as a spiritual master, you have heard the acceptance of the spiritual master, and you, after a careful examination, see, how do you select a spiritual master? Arjuna selected Krishna as the spiritual master, knowing him to be the absolute truth. How do we select a spiritual master? We should know their qualities. We should be able to, like, how, in India, parents actually select a bride and a bridegroom, right? If you were going to get married, they will choose what are all the what are all the qualities of this girl, what nakshatra does she have, what family does she belong to, all that. They do a lot of background research, and then they will see if the astrological thing matches or not. Then they will finally select a bride or a bridegroom. And similarly, even if you go to different colleges, if you were to choose a college, you will do so much analysis and then select a college that you want to get into after you grow up, right? So like that, there is so much research that needs to be done before one actually selects a spiritual master. So now we will see how does one select a spiritual master. The first thing that should be done, searching after a disciple or searching after a spiritual master. Now it's like searching after some school. You search to some school, you are searching after some school, you must at least have some preliminary knowledge about what the school means. You cannot search after a school and then go to a clothes shop. That is so ignorant of you. So you should know at least what are all the schools, what are all the A ranked schools, what are all the B ranked schools, what are all the C ranked schools. You do some analysis and you do some research. You cannot say, I'm going to select a school and go to a clothes shop and look for a cloth. Both are two different things. So you should definitely be alert and careful with regards to that. So, to understand things properly, one must humbly approach with a spiritual master who is learnt in Vedas and firmly devoted to the absolute truth. The spiritual master, what is this qualification? See, he must be learnt in Vedas and he should be devoted to the, he must have lot of devotion to the absolute truth. That is what Mundaka Upanishad says. And then a spiritual master is required for a person who is inquisitive to have the transcendental knowledge. What does transcendental knowledge means? Kids, what is transcendental knowledge means, kids? Anybody?
Knowledge about God.
That's all about God.
Anybody else?
Has the knowledge that God is a lot, that God is there.
Yes, absolute. Definitely inquisitive to know about the absolute truth. That is Krishna. That is that person is. If he is inquisitive to know that, then he is inquisitive to have the transcendental knowledge. So we need to know what our relationship with is the Lord, right? We need to know what is our relationship. Each one of us have a unique relationship with Lord Krishna, and everybody should be eager to know what our relationship is with Krishna. You could be any, it could be anything. And once we know our relationship, then it will be so blissful because we will be able to serve in that position with Krishna, within that relationship. Okay. And for that, the process to do that is devotional service. There is 9 processes of devotional service, and we use the 9 limbs of devotional service to know the relationship. I mean, to actually, that is the process. And then there is this goal to go back to Krishna and serve him in that relationship that we have. Okay, those are the three things that comes up as we progress through this devotional service process. And here, therefore, any person who seriously desires happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. Do you all know what initiation is?
Mataji, I know.
Yeah, what is it?
Initiation is like getting initiated by getting kind of like your spiritual master.
Yes, by getting initiated through the spiritual master. What does the spiritual master give you?
The japa beads.
The japa beads.
And
chant
16 rounds. Chant 16 rounds.
You are supposed to chant 16 rounds when you are given the japa beads by a spiritual master. And what else he says? He says you have to follow 4 regs. What are the 4 regs? Four regulatives, so 4 regulations, four regulatory principles. What are the 4 regulatory principles that you need to follow? Hare Krishna. This is the easy question. Aditya, can you tell me what are the 4 regs that
the 4 regulative principles are I keep forgetting these.
No meat eating.
Yeah, no meat eating, no drinking. No drinking. No intoxication.
That is same. No drinking.
No gambling.
Yes.
And no gambling.
And
yeah, no gambling. That's what I just said.
And illicit
and no illicit relationships.
Yeah.
So the 4 things, okay? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and then no illicit relationship. So these are the 4 regs that he would say you shouldn't do any of these. So the spiritual master will give, so from that your transcendental journey begins. Then what happens? The initiation is the beginning of your process of devotional service. It is the beginning. You will think, oh, if we get initiation, then everything will be okay. But it is actually the beginning. Okay. When so you have to make sure after that you have to very, very seriously chant and seriously serve spiritual masters, seriously serve the Vaishnavas, and through the mercy of everybody, Krishna will be very, very pleased. When the devotees are happy and your spiritual master is happy, obviously Krishna will be very happy and he will slowly start revealing himself to you. And slowly you will be able to understand your relationship also with him. Okay, that is the process. So everybody, our goal definitely, like how you are setting your goal to go to college and get this degree, like that you should also have a goal to get initiated. Okay, initiated by a spiritual master who knows the absolute truth. Okay, and be eager to get that transcendental knowledge from him. The qualification of a bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures. So what does it mean? He knows the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Anybody able to tell me what does this line mean? Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be a bona fide spiritual master. So they have, see, this is very, very important in terms of understanding what this means. Okay, and who can tell me what this means? If not, I'll tell you. You want me to tell you? Hare Krishna. So he has realized the conclusions of the scripture means he not only read, okay, there is Bhagavatam, there is Bhagavad Gita and all that, right? But the spiritual master is somebody who has realized that knowledge, means he has practically applied that knowledge that is given in Bhagavad Gita, and not because he is able to apply and because he is able to realize, he is able to spread it to the world. And because of his realization, it spreads to a lot of people. If you look at spiritual masters, there are so many people who have taken initiation from a spiritual master because of his realized knowledge. Only people with such great knowledge, they can preach, and when they preach, it's coming from their heart. Are you all with me, kids? This is very important concept for you to understand. Are you clear?
Mataji, there was like a glitch on my screen. You were cutting off.
Okay, no problem. But what I was saying is that spiritual master, he has realized knowledge, meaning he not only knows Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam theoretically, but he is able to apply that and practically understand from, in day-to-day situations, he applies it, and because of that, he gets the realization. Okay, and that realization becomes wisdom, and because of that, he is able to preach what he has realized to people all over the world. Okay. Now we are going to talk about 3 kinds of sufferings that we have. Anybody has any idea what are the 3 kinds of material miseries that we face through with our body, mind, due to devatas, and then due to other people? There are some sufferings that we go through in our everyday life. Do you all know that?
No.
Aditya, you must know this.
Yeah, is it like Adi Devik, Adi Bautik, and Adhyatmik?
Good job.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I remember.
You also remember now? Okay. So one kind of suffering belonging to the body and mind, and second is I'm getting a headache. That is due to body and mind, right? And
Yes.
then now I'm feeling very warm. I'm feeling very cold. These are all bodily sufferings. And then we have so many sufferings of the mind. My mind is not well today. Somebody called me and said something to me. So my mind is thinking of that friend who said so many things about me. I am very, very disturbed. My mind is very disturbed. So those are all the troubles that the mind goes through. And then there is suffering due to nature. That is Adi Devik. The suffering due to the mind, what is it called? Adhyatmika. Can you all remember this? Adhyatmika. Adhyatmik. Yeah, correct. That is the suffering of the body and mind. And then Adi Daivik. That is the suffering caused by nature. So suppose there is a heavy snowfall and New York is flooded with snow. We are all put into lot of inconvenience and suffering because of that. But we have hurricane. There is no control. Can we control snow? Can we control hurricane? Can we control? Yeah, so there is no control. So that is Adi Daivik. Adi Daivik is caused by demigods. Okay. And then Adhyatmik is caused by body and mind. Okay, now can you give me examples of Adhyatmik suffering that I was talking about? Anybody?
Govinda.
Govinda, yes.
Like you, when a mosquito bite you and take
No, that is due to body and mind. I told you, right? I'm feeling warm, I'm feeling cold. Then my friend has called me and disturbed me. Because of that, my mind gets disturbed. All that is Adhyatmik. And Adi Devik is caused by the nature. Okay. And Adi Bhautik is caused by other living beings. It could be even a mosquito that can cause suffering for you, right? If a mosquito bites you, you're like, this particular area is really troubling because of the mosquito bite. Or some animal, be a scorpion, it can bite you, and you will say, oh, I feel that. I feel the pain and the suffering, right? Or some worm, anything for that matter, it can bite you and it can cause trouble to you, right? Even other living beings like your enemies. I mean, we should not have that enemy or a friend thing, but I'm just saying if somebody else who's against you can cause trouble to you. That is Adi Bhautik. Okay, can you all remember those 3 terms that we talked about? Anybody wants to say what those 3 are? First one.
I think I remember.
Okay, Varun.
Adhyatmik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyautik.
Correct. Adi Daivik is demigods, and that is due to the nature. And Adi Bhautik is due to?
Body.
Adi Baltic is due from the like hurricanes, I think.
No, Devik is the hurricane and all that. That is due to
Then
demigods
that's
or the
if
nature.
you're like a friend tells you something.
Yeah, that is due to others. If
Yeah.
like mosquitoes, worms, other friends causing trouble to you, all that is
Mataji,
Adi Bhautik.
is the one that affects mind.
Mind and body, what is that? Adhyatmik.
Yeah, Mataji, how I want to bite you.
Yeah. Krishna? Krishna?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, we have the three sufferings that we saw now, right? And then, so these are the three kinds of sufferings. They are always there. But we don't want these sufferings. Do you want these sufferings?
No.
Yeah, we don't want it. Now here, Arjuna is conscious that there is a fight and it's my duty to fight with the enemy, but there is suffering because they are my kinsmen. So he is saying, see, I have a duty. I know I have to fight in this war, but because they are my kinsmen, I'm feeling the suffering. Okay. So he's feeling that like that. He's feeling that in his mind, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm having a suffering, and I'm not able to fight with my kinsmen." So, unless a human being is conscious and awakened to the fact that we are always in suffering, but we don't know, we don't want these sufferings, this question, such a person is required to approach a spiritual master when he is conscious. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying that, this person, he realizes the suffering and he wants a solution to the suffering, right? Arjuna, he is wanting a solution to the suffering. And that is why he is approaching a spiritual master. He now considers Krishna as he's not considering Krishna as his friend anymore. He's considering Krishna as his spiritual master, and he's going to him and saying, I'm having the suffering and I'm going to need a solution from you, Krishna. So long, he's an animal like, and he doesn't know that he's always in suffering. An animal, it might suffer, but doesn't know that it is in suffering. But a human, he is able to understand these sufferings. And when he understands the sufferings, he goes to a spiritual master and seeks help. So here Arjuna is suffering and he wants a solution. Therefore, he accepts a spiritual master. Okay. But when is serious to make a solution of the suffering, then the spiritual master is required. Just like Arjuna requires now a spiritual master. Oh, why you go to school now? Why are you going to college? Why are you getting a scientific education? Why are you taking law education? Everything is meant for ending our sufferings. If there is no suffering, then nobody would have to take education. But he thinks if I become an engineer, I become happy. So the ultimate aim is happiness. If I get some job, I will be happy. So happiness is the end of everyone, everything. I mean to say, what is the need? Say for example, Aditya, you would like to go to school, you would like to go to college, you would like to get a degree. Why do you want all that?
For material pleasure.
Material pleasure. At the end, you want some happiness, right? And just for that happiness, you are fighting through this process of going to the school, getting a degree, doing your homeworks, getting remarks from the teacher, getting grades. All that is happening because you have an ultimate aim to enjoy material pleasures, and that is why you're doing this. So happiness is the goal, right? But these mitigation of sufferings, they are temporary. Real suffering is due to our material existence. Okay, the real thing is that the reason why we are suffering is because we don't know, we have forgotten our relationship with Lord Krishna. That is real suffering. And when we know and when we go through this process of devotional service, we will be able to revive our relationship with Krishna. Then our sufferings, this material sufferings, will then become nothing. When this is the real suffering is our forgetfulness to Krishna. And that is why we call it material sufferings. This adhyatmic, adibhautik, and what is the next one? Adidevik, adibhautik, and adhyatmic. When these three sufferings are all material miseries, material sufferings due to material miseries. The real suffering is our forgetfulness to Krishna. Okay. When we revive our relationship with Krishna, then all the sufferings even the material sufferings, they will go away. That is what Krishna is trying to say through this verse. So when one is conscious about his sufferings, he wants to make a solution of the suffering, and then there is a necessity for the spiritual master. And now why spiritual master comes into play? Now you know this, right? You may think, I know what is the goal. I know the goal is to go back to Krishna, understand your relationship with Krishna, and then serve him. Now, why do I need a spiritual master? Where is the need for spiritual master now? Can you help me understand this? Anybody? Can you just raise your hand and tell me what is the need for a spiritual master now? You understand that the goal is to go back to Krishna. You understand that I want to have a relationship with Krishna and serve Krishna and go back to him. But where does the spiritual master come into play? Why do I need a spiritual master in between? Hare Krishna.
Mataji?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the question?
Well, see, I know my goal. My goal is I have to go and serve Krishna.
Uh-huh.
And why is this? What is the need for spiritual master in between? Why do I need spiritual master?
Because the spiritual master will guide you through all your questions, and he will give you your blessings so you won't fail in anything.
Okay. Anybody else wants to add on to what Varun said?
I would. Instructions about how to go to the spiritual world.
He tells you how to go to spiritual world. He gives you the route map like a GPS.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Kiona.
I would. So, a spiritual master tells you how to not suffer.
How to not suffer, okay.
Or tell you the good things to remember Krishna.
Good things to remember Krishna, okay. Okay, so Aditya, do you want to add on to this? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyways, just after this slide, we are going to do Kahoot, okay? Can you all be alert and can you all keep your microphones on so that when I ask a question, I would like you to respond. Because see, Mataji is teaching you so much, so I want everybody to understand what I'm teaching. Otherwise, I could just go through these slides and be done with the slides, but that's not the intent. I want this interaction and I want you to also turn on the video if possible, so that we can have this interaction of back and forth and trying to understand and ask questions and then delve more into the subject matter. Because this is very, very nice things that Srila Prabhupada is sharing with us, and I want you to also relish what he's trying to say, and not only relish but apply it in your life. Okay, that will be the best thing I can get from you. And for that, I need this session really, really interactive. Aditya, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I was away from my laptop for a little bit.
Okay, so my question was, why do we need a spiritual master in between when you know the goal? The goal is to go back to Godhead and serve Krishna in the relationship that you have with him.
That's because without the spiritual master, you won't be able to get guidance on what you're doing. You won't be able to know if you're doing it right, if you're doing it wrong, like that.
Okay. Ovi, yes.
You need a guru to give you a path to Krishna's Krishna, because you can't go on your own.
Okay, so as everybody mentioned, the reason why we have a spiritual master is because he connects us to the parampara. Who's this parampara coming from? Before Srila Prabhupada, it was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And before him, it was Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And who was the first person who got this instruction from Lord Krishna? He was Brahma. Brahma. I mean, so the Gaudiya Vaishnava parampara is coming like that through disciplic succession. And this message is transcendental, and it is coming from a bona fide source. You cannot directly get connected to Krishna unless the spiritual master is there. You will not be able to get that connection. Say for example, there is this president of the country. For the president to connect with you, you need acquaintance of the secretary. Without the secretary, you cannot directly get in touch with him. So you have to somehow get connected to the secretary. Through him, you get connected to the president. Likewise, you have to get connected to the bona fide parampara system in order to get connected to Krishna. Krishna says, when your spiritual master is happy, I am happy. When the Vaishnavas are happy with what you're doing, I am happy. So you need this connection. Without this connection, nothing can happen. You may learn, you may have the knowledge that you may have acquired from the ISKCON even, but without the connection to the spiritual master, you cannot reach your goal. Okay, and that is why, like how you are saying, I need to have a college degree, I need to go to the school, I need to pass out and get a degree and work in this company. Like that, you have to have a spiritual goal. I have to get initiated, I have to go and get connected to my guru, and through guru I have to go to Krishna. There must be some goal even in the spiritual life. Spiritual life is very, very important, because the real suffering is forgetfulness of Krishna. Okay, kids? And this is our last slide for today. So when one is conscious about his sufferings, he wants to make a solution to the suffering. There is the need for the spiritual master. And all these sufferings, the Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmic sufferings, they are all temporary. It will come to an end. Okay. But the real suffering, if we don't find the root cause of the real suffering, that you will be continuing through the samsara. Be born, do the first grade, second grade, third grade, pass out. Again, in the next life, you do the same thing, or you could be even being born as an animal. Who knows? So we will be continuing through the samsara cycle all through, if we don't know what our real suffering is and what the solution to the real suffering is. Okay. With that, we conclude today's session. Are you all excited to do the Kahoot? Hare Krishna. Mataji, how are we doing in terms of time? I know that this session went for 1 hour and 15 minutes now, and Kahoot probably is going to take 20 to 25 minutes. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. So, Madhvi Mataji, we don't want a recording for Kahoot games. So, if you want, you can stop them.
Okay.